Got my Hodler's official. Corey Secord is the man. Great company. Unbelievable jerseys. Got my Bitcoin jersey. Got Satoshi on the back. It's incredible. Props to you, Corey. Incredible person. Can't wait to interview you soon. Where do we go? The biggest asset of the federal government is student debt. Student debt. Now, not only is that just completely insidious and evil, but also laughable. At the last 3 years, the government wasn't even making anything off of that debt. That's the hilarious part. They weren't making nothing off their biggest asset. One of the huge reasons why the government continues to go further and further into debt. Another reason why we just said the 10-year yield is coming down drastically, down at 4.25% right now. Really, just a couple weeks ago at 5, just within the last month, at 5%. The bond market, the risk-free market, is not supposed to do that. It's not supposed to move like that. It's supposed to be a safe haven. And it's anything but that. It's an enslavement mechanism, just like student debt. Barack Obama, about 10, 12 years ago, made student loans the biggest asset of the federal government and also incentivized bloat. Again, so when government becomes centralized, this centralized authority, this command and control economies, the bigger the government gets, the less responsive and the less effective it is. People suffer because when you have this massive government, everyone just becomes a number. When you have people in DC trying to do things now, which is not their job, all over the country, instead of the states and localities and municipalities, cities, townships doing what they're supposed to be doing, you now become a number on a spreadsheet or on a computer to someone in DC. So of course you're not going to get the right thing. We just had, again, little babies being taken off of life support in the UK. Things like that have happened here, and I'm sure are happening right now if we went and searched for some articles, because we're rationing healthcare, because government has taken over these things and has no money. So now we're rationing healthcare. We're rationing people's lives by stealing our time and energy, by making them debt slaves through student loans. So we don't care about our kids there while they're alive. We don't care about them in the womb because we're killing them there. And we don't care about them when they're having trouble, when they're just born. We're taking them off life support because, well, government doesn't have enough money. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, any of the pensions, all these things underfunded or insolvent, and we have no cash. We have spiraling out of control debts. We have rates that keep gyrating all over the place. We have a financialized economy, which means it's just a lot of people arbitraging the system between rate arbitrage, financializing things, packaging up loans, repackaging them and putting them in different places. No one's actually providing real things of value. There's very little manufacturing or productivity going on. We just have this really a service-based economy. People just kind of servicing each other, getting around town. Can I open the door for you? Can I drive you around town? The gig economy, fast food, food service, things like that. It's a very hollow world we live in, and then we wonder why bad things happen. It's not necessarily that people are saying, hey, you go do this bad thing in society. It's just that when you create all of the conditions for bad things to happen, bad things will happen. And then government gets to then go say, they've created the fire. Now they get to be the arson and say, hey, whoa. Told you guns were bad. That bad thing happened over there because that person using that thing, we got to ban them. You don't see them banning cars, though, or knives or swimming pools, things that kill thousands and tens of thousands of people a year. You don't see them doing that. So you'd have to think, why? Why is it that they're only circling in on one thing and focusing in and honing in on that? Those are the things, the cognitive dissonance that unfortunately society goes through, where they don't understand, they don't critically think for 2 seconds and break things apart. But the student loans, the biggest asset of the federal government, 1.7 trillion debt in debt the students are, and we really dug ourselves a massive hole, and this is the centralized part that I was alluding to, and I kind of went down that tangent with it. But they create bigger and bigger government, which is the plan of the communists, the Marxists. Again, when you read their works, when you listen to their videos, this is what they are doing. This is what they are telling you they're going to do. They've outlined everything they're going to do. Incentivize people to take out the loans, and then if you work for the government, then you get them paid off. They just magically disappear after 10 years or 20 years or whatever it might be. So now we have more and more people plugged into a government, which itself is an electrical strip plugged into itself, because the government doesn't provide anything. This is a newsflash. The government doesn't provide anything. There's no services or products that the government's making, other than, not even that. I was going to say, other than missiles, according to Mitch McConnell. But they don't. It's Boeing. It's private companies, which, again, you could also say not all those are private anymore. A lot of them are public-private partnerships. They're owned by the government. I think Boeing might have been bailed out, or different companies that were bailed out recently. Maybe the airline companies. Either way, you get where I'm going with this. The car companies also partially owned by the government now. So you have this process where there are more and more bailouts. The government takes more and more ownership. Again, centralized control of everything. Take control of credit. Take control of communications. Take control of companies. Government owns everything. There's no incentive to do anything proper. There's no incentive to produce profit. There's no incentive to do anything efficiently or provide a better product or service, because when the people are only subjected to that government product, that's it, and they have nowhere else to go, then there's no incentive. You can't go anywhere else. You're stuck. So you're gonna take what the government's gonna give you. And the government, what is the government gonna do? Punish itself? They're gonna term limit themselves? No, of course not. And this is what our founders railed against and fought for and came over, literally crossed in wooden boats to get over here for, to get away from this centralized command and control economies, aristocracies, and we're doing it again. We are doing it again. We've now given ourselves the gerontocracy. We've given ourselves this world where we have enslaved ourselves. We've let the governments take control of the currency printing and put us in debt in so many ways, whether it's through housing or whether it's through student loans, the bond market itself, through the government being an enslavement mechanism itself, and based on debt, the dollar based on debt, backed by nothing. It's a debt instrument, not backed by equity, not backed by capital. So we have dug ourselves a massive hole, and it's time to figure our way out. They suck the life from you. When you are a debt slave, the life is sucked from you. You are a cog in a wheel, just like in the Matrix. You are in the pod, the energy being sucked away from you. You go to work every day, work a third of your life just to pay the government and other people to do other things. Is that the life that we want to live? Is that the way we want to live and how we want to operate? I don't think it is for me. I can't answer for everybody. I would hope not, but only you can make that decision. Only I can make that decision for myself. Student loans. This is the seed of a bigger and bigger growing centralization problem. And until we start breaking down and understanding how these things happen and why they happen, understanding the broken monetary layer, the fiat layer is the one doing this, and it's why we talk about this so much and why we talk about getting the issuance of money back into the hands of the people in rules, not rulers, in issuance of back in the hands of people, not in government. Only then can things start to heal and start to naturally take their correct shape again. As our founders warned about the issuance of the money being in the hands of the people instead of the government. You do not want them, they told us, in the hands of the government, the currency printers. And here we are. It's time we do something about it. We have been given a gift. This is a gift. But do not go buy it. Go study it. Go study this revolution. Again, it's not just about this. It could be called something else. But the properties and what it contains and how it changes people is the revolution. That is the discovery. Appreciate you. Please share this out. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. The algorithm hates truth, so please share this out so we can minimize collateral damage. Trust but verify. And this is not financial advice. It is freedom advice. We look forward to seeing you on the next one.